Hello, everyone. I'm Pamela Coons at the Wellness Radio TV. I like to eat, and I don't know anybody who would say they didn't like to eat, right. But what should we be putting in our bodies? Well, there's an exciting class that's going to be taking place at the Cone Park Library in Gainesville, Florida. It is a way to get back to the pleasures of eating based on our African culture. And my guest today is Miss Diane Johnson, who is the librarian and librarian manager for the Cone Park Library here in Gainesville, Florida. Thank you so much for joining us.
It's my pleasure.
So this is very exciting.
It is.
So everybody is a foodie today.
It is.
And so tell us what this program is about. Foodie Space, a taste of African heritage.
Well, it's about addressing the health issues that are being experienced by people caused by just poor eating habits. And so the class is going to give us an opportunity to taste and feel and experience a type of eating that will take us back to our roots, to our heritage, using some of the ingredients that perhaps some of our great-great-great-grandfathers employed. And so, and in that way, to combat some of the serious health issues that we're facing today.
Because as we look at the health issues that we're facing, the majority of them are food related.
Yes.
And this is a way to introduce recipes and cooking, different ways of cooking.
Well, it's just going back. I think just revisiting. I think that some people have forgotten that we used to do a lot more cooking and what types of ingredients we used to use back in the day. And so we're just going to revisit some of those places, some of those times, some of those ways of doing things, and employing some of the more healthy ingredients into our diets.
Right. You said we used to cook.
We used to cook.
We used to cook, right. We used to cook. And so because believe it or not, the packaging and the preservatives used to preserve food that can sit on the shelves for months and years at a time, the body really is not able to recognize it. And so the body is doing something with those chemicals, and the result is disease.
Absolutely. And so we're just going to reintroduce fresh fruits and vegetables and herbs and spices. We're still going to go back to the old ways of putting things together and then sitting down, a community meal, and just enjoying one another in conversation and learning and talking about what we're eating and why we need to eat more healthily. So it's going to be a great, great class.
Ms. Johnson, this is a part of a bigger program. It's happening here in Gainesville, but this is part of a bigger national effort, is it not?
The group that initiated this program is called Old Ways, and they are based out of Boston, Massachusetts, and their agenda is to get these classes all across the nation. The people who facilitate them do not necessarily have to be nutritionalists. They don't have to be chefs or professional chefs, but just people in the community who are interested in facilitating. The curriculum is all put together, the shopping lists are together, they have promotional materials, they have videos, they have everything you need. You just need to pick a place, pick a time, and recruit some class members.
So the food is going to be provided. What is the cost to attend this?
It is free, and there's no cost to the class participants. There will be materials that people can take away. We're going to have some fun with some surprise things that we're going to do to keep the class interesting. But no, there is no cost for any library programs. They're free.
So if somebody wanted to bring this to their community, what is the process for getting this set up in their community?
Well, we can pass on to anyone who is interested in the information from Old Ways. We will, within the class structure, of course, support them by showing some of their videos and sharing the links to their website. And they can get in touch with the organizers of the Old Ways project and get it running on their own.
What an excellent way to start to take control of your health, to encourage more interaction with family members, to cook, and then to sit down at the meal and eat and share like we used to do.
Yeah. So often today we'll just pop something in the microwave and maybe eat it standing up.
Right.
at the microwave, or at the sink, and just shove it in and move on to the next thing. But I think that in this class, we'll revisit some of those nice traditional cultural things of connecting with one another and perhaps be an encouragement to one another to continue to eat well even after this class session has ended.
And people don't realize that your state of mind has a direct impact on how your food is actually digested. So when we're eating this food that's not any good for us to begin with, and then we're eating it on the run, and then we should not be surprised when we get the news about what's ailing us. And we wonder why we feel like, ugh.
And even more so, even I was watching a special on PBS last night about the effects on the brain. Sometimes when you're lethargic and you can't quite think, or if you can't remember something, some of that is directly related to a poor diet, And so we're hoping that as we reintroduce healthy eating, people will see changes not only in their physical bodies, but in their ability to just think and make decisions, and in their emotions. All of these things are affected by the chemicals that we take into our body.
Right. Give us some examples. We're talking about a foodie class, cooking back the way we used to prepare food and how we used to sit down together. Give us an example of one of the dishes that you'll be preparing during this 6-week course.
This is a 6 weeks class. Well, we're going to do some smoothies. We're going to some jollof rice, which is a very traditional type dish. We'll be doing some fruit salads. We'll be doing some spicy greens, and we'll do some things with potatoes, sweet potatoes and white potatoes, some stews, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yummy. So you're providing all the food, you prepare the food, you get to sit down and dialogue with each other and make some new acquaintances as well.
And then we'll have a couple of short lectures in there to explain to people, highlight, a food group of the week, fruits and vegetables, leafy vegetables, and once again, reiterate the importance of having those entered into the diet. And then we'll just maybe even talk about some technology, maybe an app of the week, to show people online how they can use modern technology to keep themselves healthy. But we're just going to have a lot of fun.
Have a lot of fun getting healthy.
Getting healthy.
Yeah. Ms. Diane Johnson with the Cone Park Library here in Gainesville, Florida, talking about this really, really exciting program called the African Heritage Diet. Foodie Space. It's a way to get a taste of African heritage while getting healthy and bringing your family, your loved ones back to the space where we used to be all the time, sitting around the table in the kitchen.
Absolutely.
I'm looking forward. If there's a space in there, I want to be there.
Yes.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
excellent. Thank you. We thank you all for joining us for this segment of On the Road to Wellness. I'm Pamela Coons at the Wellness Radio TV. Remember, there is healing at the well.